Welcome, my dear learners. My name is Linus, your lecturer from Quest. I want to discuss with you lesson number 3, which is labeled departmental purchasing techniques, or what you call common techniques in purchasing. So we just discuss a few points here, and one of the main points of what our purchasing managers do so that they can be more competitive, or how they can get more competitive deals, is by doing the following. Number one, never give any company 100% of the available business. That simply means, if it's when talk of techniques of purchasing is we mean how can a company get more better quality, how can a company get cheaper prices, how can a company get reliable suppliers, how can a company becomes more competitive. This is what we're discussing about common techniques, or how can a company remain in power. How can a purchasing department become more powerful at the expense of the supplier? I'm saying that because in some organizations, some suppliers tend to be more powerful than the purchasing department, in that the purchasing managers are left at the mercy of what the suppliers or the vendors have to detect. So common techniques in purchasing, these are the strategies that a purchasing department can use when negotiating to get more better deals, to remain more powerful, to have the say. This is what we are talking about. We don't want a situation whereby they are the vendors who are dictating their terms to us as the purchasing company. We want to be us as the purchasing company that are in control. So these are techniques of how a purchasing department or how procurement officers can remain in control. Whenever a purchasing department remains in control, then it means they are more powerful. They are at a level, they are more powerful when it comes to negotiating. They can decide from whom, which supplier they are going to leverage from. So this is what we mean. So when we say of the first point, don't give any company 100% of the available businesses, because if you give a company, a particular vendor, 100% of the available business, then you are rendering yourself not useless, but weak. You become weak, because it's the vendor who will be in total control of your business, in that if they decide to bring goods late or product late, they know that you cannot go anywhere else. All your business is with them. Okay, so they may decide to close a particular day, and they know you are in a position of no power. I mean, you are powerless. So we advocate that as a purchasing department, don't empower, don't make yourself powerless by giving all the 100% of the supply business to one supplier, because by doing this, they will know that they have already secured your entire supply business. They may decide to bring materials late, and there's nothing you can do, because it is not so easy for you now to start looking for another new supplier immediately. Okay, so by doing that, by maintaining 2 or more sources of supply, you can play against each other. So we mean, when a supplier comes asking for a business, tell them you have got many suppliers. You see, that one registers in their minds that whatever small business they get, they have really to protect it. But if you give one supplier 100% of your supply business, then they will just be saying, furthermore, we have already closed the entire business deal with this particular organization, so why should we bother? Why should we deliver on time? Why should we deliver quality? Why should we deliver always the required quantity? Because they already have got, you empower them by becoming more powerful and becoming less powerful. So a good strategy is like to find out 2 or more 3 suppliers whom you can give maybe 30% all, and 40%. By maintaining 2 or more sources of supply, they will become alert, in that if I consistently bring my materials late, this company may terminate my contract and award the other company. If I bring my materials that are of substandard quality, then this company can terminate my contract and they can give the other company's contract. So if you have got like a mix of like 3 suppliers, whatever the contract they are holding, then they will become very serious. So the second technique is they use flexibility in payment terms and the threat of slowing payments unless a lower price is received. This means when a vendor knocks a particular organization's door requesting to supply, what the purchasing managers inform those vendors or suppliers is that they inform them that we don't pay immediately. We take like 6 months, 3 months, or 1 year. That is important because when an organization tells us a vendor that we pay after 6 months, then this company wants to find out who is this supplier who can supply the goods, works, and services, wait for 6 months. If they can wait for 6 months, it means that such vendors or suppliers have got enough finances to keep on supplying until 6 months are over, until 3 months are over, until 1 year is over. But whenever a particular vendor comes and they are knocking your door as of your organization, and a purchasing officer, you tell them we pay after 3 months, then you quickly hear them saying that no, we cannot be able to wait for more than 1 month. Then it may be a positive way for you to inform you that this supplier may not have enough finances. In that, if you wanted this supplier to supply to you materials for 3 months without payment initially, then they are not able to do that because it shows they have got no enough financial base. But if a supplier can accept to supply and wait to be paid for 6 months and still continue supply for 6 months, then it shows that that supplier has got enough financial base. This is important because these are the kind of the vendors a purchasing company needs to have. We need to have suppliers who have got enough finances. We need suppliers who have got enough resources. We don't need suppliers who supply us today with items and tomorrow they are on our neck threatening that they are going to sue us, because sometimes even you as the organization, you may not have adequate finances at that particular time. The business may be slow that particular time. The business may be low, profits lesser. So you need some help of getting credit from vendors. So the only way you can do that is to whoever the suppliers are coming to request for contract or for tenders, tell them we pay after a long period of time. Then listen, are they comfortable still to continue supplying or are they not comfortable? Number 2, you can inform them we don't pay immediately, and just find out from them if they are able to wait for even 3 months, 6 months, or 1 year. The more they are able to wait, the more it tells you that a supplier that has got enough resources, enough finances, and etc. And it is also a technique of bargaining for a lower price. You see, if you tell a supplier that you are going to pay after 3 months, unless you sell it at a lower price, that's the time you are going to pay. You see, that one becomes a competitive advantage on your head. Assume you have 2 suppliers. One supplier comes looking for a contract from your organization and he wants to sell to you 1 piece at 1,000 shilling. And you tell that particular supplier, we don't pay immediately. We can only pay you after 1 week unless you sell us those particular product at 700 shillings per piece. So this technique of slowing payment, it can end up working positive for your organization if such a supplier can now start negotiating. Like for example, instead of supplying my product at 1,000 shillings per piece, if I supplied at 800, if I supplied at 700, would I get a supply contract? Okay, and you see now, if they lower the prices, then you are going to make procurement savings, and this is what should have been your intention, or this is your intention. Okay, so it is a technique. The second point talks of a technique of how a purchasing officer can stage a technique of slowing payment unless a lower offer of a price is received. We give you, we are going, for example, it's like saying we are going to buy from you 1,000 shillings per piece, but wait for 6 months, or sell to us 600 shillings per piece and receive the money the following day. And you let now the vendor make a decision. You remain in a position of power, and the supplier remains in a position of like a decision making. Do I supply today at 1,000 shillings, wait to be paid after 6 months, or do I supply at 600 shillings today and be paid after maybe 3 days or 1 week? You see, now you become more powerful, and this is what you're talking about. Number 3, the third technique is solicit bids from as many suppliers as possible. This is important because if you only receive quotation, a bid is a quote. A quote is like the price of the item plus their specifications, quality, and quantity. So if you only receive a quote or a bid or a proposal from one supplier, you might be closing yourself from other existing suppliers who are out there who offer more better quality, more quantity, supply at the most convenient time, and offering a very low price. So don't limit yourself as a purchasing officer to only receiving quotations or bid from only one supplier. Go out and do what you called in chapter 2, in chapter 1, lesson 1, market exploration. So solicit bids from as many suppliers as possible. To solicit is to request, regardless if they already know which supplier they want to use. They often do this for no other reason than to have multiple offers they can leverage from with the preferred offer supplier. To leverage is to find an optimum ground of where you can get more quality at a lower cost or at a lesser cost. Okay, so if a supplier comes knocking your door requesting for a tender, it's good to inform them, by the way, we don't pay immediately, not unless we get a lower quote. We have got as many suppliers as possible, not unless you're offering us a more better quality, because the intention also is to make them feel a bit jealous, make the suppliers feel as if for them really to qualify, they have to provide more better quality or they have to provide a more lower pricing. So be in a position of power. This is what we're discussing about, and make that supplier feel vulnerable of losing the business. Okay, but if a supplier comes and you behave as a purchasing officer as if you are so hopeless, you didn't have any supplier, you are in so much dire needs of those particular prices, they are going to quote for a very high price, and you are going to be on the losing end. The fourth point is the purchasing staff leave a few items vague on a bid to give suppliers flexibility in their response. This means if a purchasing officer sends some quotations to like request for proposal or request for quotations to like 10 suppliers, they may not actually give all the information out as it should be. They may just leave a few information or paragraphs vague, meaning there might be some information not really adding up, because now this is intended to make the suppliers to start thinking. You want to see who is this supplier who can realize maybe there's a mistake here. You want to see who is this supplier who can now start asking, should I call this company? Maybe something is not so clear here. Should I call this company? What are others? Is my quotation different from theirs? Because you want to find out who is this supplier who is so professional, who understands some information is missing, who understands some information about specifications is missing. This is important because it works for your good, because the ones who call you back to request for clarification, then you know these are real serious, you know they are really professional, you know they have got the experience, you know they don't want to supply substandard, they really want to get the real specifications, outlined very well. And this is your idea, because sometimes you are leaving a few information vague or incomplete because you want to find out who is this supplier who can give you new ideas of how to come up with such a product or how to implement a new technology. You want to find out who is this. So leave some information a bit incomplete, so that to activate the minds of the suppliers and find out if they can actually think of their own new ideas, of which whenever they will be returning their request for quotations or proposals back to you, you are likely to read the ideas. Even if you never knew such a kind of information, then you already be informed and you are likely to make a more independent, more better decision. The next point is whenever the suppliers come requesting for a proposal or for a contract, tell them that you have a third-party group that can take care of your needs. This means when the suppliers come looking for a business with you, inform them that, by the way, we have got this and this supplier who is very good, delivers quality, delivers on time, delivers more quantity, offers free services. Now, and when you mention those things, now you ask this supplier, this vendor or contractor who was coming to look for a new business from you, you ask him now, because you have always gotten quality, quantity and etc., what new thing can I get from you that I have not been receiving or getting from the existing contractors or suppliers? When you ask that question like that, you are in a position of power. Either now, for this new vendor to win the contract, either he lowers the prices, either he gives more after sales services, either he gives more quantities, and that is your mission as a purchasing company. Because either you want to get more product of more higher quality, you want more quantity, you want more prices. So these common techniques of purchasing department, these are the strategies that can just be tailor-made within the purchasing staff. Just think of how you negotiate. When you go negotiating, you don't go making yourself vulnerable. You go staging some things that, by the way, I've got already this product, I have this product, so if I have to buy this as my second product, not unless you sell to me at a lower price, whereas you know very well that you even doesn't have a product like that. So this is what you are talking about. So whenever they come looking for a business from you, tell them that you already have other suppliers who have already been catering for their businesses, unless now they have got something extra that they can offer you. And you just listen now, and you listen. Maybe they are going to mention of more quality, more quantity, and etc. and etc. So another strategy we're talking here is the purchasing staff ordering quantities or supply chain needs at the last minute. This is important because like when the schools are opening, if you go buying school uniforms 2 days to the opening of the schools, you are likely to buy at a more expensive price. So this technique means of ordering quantity. Understand when you are likely to need your materials at an upcoming time, and make some steps and buy prior to that time coming, because if you buy before, a few months before, you are likely to buy at a very lower price, save a lot of money. If at all you are not going to incur a lot of holding cost or a lot of storage cost. Okay, so another point is they leverage orders with companies against their suppliers. To leverage is to have multiple suppliers and want to find out which one can you get better quality, more quantity and etc, time frames, or more newer products, or more sophisticated product, or more better products of more newer taste, or sharing technology, or sharing communications platforms. So at the end of every year, find out from your suppliers, what new product are you coming with the other year? If you have to renew your contract, what new thing are you offering? What innovations are you doing to your product? Because as an organization, you have to be very careful. You have to keep on improving the taste and the preferences of the product, goods and services you are offering to your customers. Okay. There's another technique here they use, the next, just prior to receiving a proposal from a long-term supplier, email them a copy of the competitor's proposal. That means when a supplier sends you their quotation, just you can retrieve an old copy of a quotation or a proposal from your database and you may email that other competitor's proposal to that supplier who just sent you their own copy of proposal. What is the intention here? The intention is to make that supplier feel a bit jealous. Like, for example, they will now start asking themselves, by the way, I've just sent my proposal, and here they are emailing me a competitor's proposal, and maybe the competitor's proposal, the product are more quality, the prices are more lower, they are offering free transport, free return policies, yet the proposal that I sent to this company, my product are more expensive, I don't offer free transport, I don't offer free after sales services and etc. So you see, this one is going out to make this supplier to feel a bit jealous of losing this particular contract. So in response, you can expect that they are going to write you another email requesting you, but they have seen what you've sent me, and can I come over for a brief meeting? You see, when they are telling you, can I come over, probably they have seen the product that you bought previously were of lower prices. So why are they coming to your company? They are coming in because now they want to negotiate for much lower prices. They don't want to lose this business with you. Maybe it was a business of 50 million or 60 million. No one wants to lose such kind of a business. So you can expect they will be coming to negotiate that they are going to offer you more better transport than you received initially. They're going to even reduce all the prices better than even the proposal that you sent to them. And this is just a technique of negotiation or negotiating. These are just a technique of remaining in a position of power, and this is the intention why these purchasing officers have to be armed with such kinds of wits or wisdom. Okay, so sometimes, and remember, this copy of the competitor's proposal that you sent to them, it might have just been a fake one. It may not really be a genuine one, but your intention is to drive the cost down. Your intention is to drive the cost of the prices down. Your intention is to get more better services. Your intention is to get more after sales services. Your intention is to get free customers, all those things. That is why you say, prior to receiving a proposal from a long-term supplier, send them a copy of another competitor proposal to make them jealous and find out if they are ready to negotiate. Okay, so, and another point is make comments about the supply chain and escalating costs and how they will be passed along to the suppliers who aren't offering lower price options. Okay, so whenever they come looking for, a supplier comes looking for business with you, you can now start telling them that the inflation has hit us so hard, the taxes have become more, and the customers have got lesser finances to buy our product. So if you have to buy things from your suppliers business, then you have to lower the costs, otherwise we are not going to partner with you. And you see, that one has to, you now leave them to make a decision of how they are going to have to be accommodative to you. Okay, another strategy is simply become hard to reach, giving the impression to the suppliers what they sell is not needed. If every time the suppliers are coming to your company, knocking at your door, and you are ever opening your doors to them, it means you are so easy to reach. Okay, so, and they may, and the more you are easy to reach, the more the suppliers may not really take you serious. So by playing hard to get, you give an impression to the suppliers that if they ever get a business with you, then they really have to make sure that they sustain the business, or they supply at the right time, failure to which they are going to lose the business. If you become hard to reach as an organization, the supplier who reaches you now, or who gets you, whom you give the contract, now he has to be very, very cautious not to lose a business with you. Becoming hard to reach gives an impression that you are very professional, you are disciplined, you are a no-nonsense kind of an organization. You don't tolerate lateness, you don't tolerate a product of lower quality, you see, and this is just, you are just painting a picture of seriousness to the suppliers, and that is what is really important. So those are just some of the techniques the purchasing officers can use, purchasing department can use, simply to become more competitive. Remember, these techniques are meant meant to make the company get product at lower prices, get more better quality, get more quantity, get free services. But how can they do all this? By instituting some mechanisms that can just be tailor-made, just in-house ways of negotiating, so that they can get some more better deals. Okay, like saying, no, we have got already enough suppliers, we don't need any more. Why should we need you? And to give them a chance to explain to you why you should select them. Okay, so become a bit hard to reach. Tell them that you already have got existing suppliers. Tell them not unless you give us at this price, this is the time. It's only the time that you can be able to pay you. So I believe if you listen to this video and many times, read the notes, combine the questions plus the discussions forums on the chat room, I think this is really interesting. Principles of purchasing it's an interesting topic because I treat it as a very practical course, because these are the things that we actually go out here, we do every day. We bargain when you are buying shoes, we bargain when you are buying cars, we bargain when you are buying motorbikes, we bargain when you are buying foodstuffs. So you have to put yourself in a position of power by playing some particular strategies that makes the other person to want to win you. And whenever those other people want to win you, then you are the one who is on the profiting side. Thank you so much, and let's keep up the good work.